Luna Park Sydney is one of Australia's most iconic amusement parks, located directly on the Sydney Harbour, right next to the iconic Harbour Bridge and across from the Opera House. It was based off of the success of the first Luna Park in Coney Island, New York in 1903. The idea was then brought down under in 1912 to Melbourne and then eventually made its way over to Sydney in 1935. And this park has had quite a history. It made it through World War II, changed ownership, changed names, got completely rebuilt after a fire. You would never know this park has been through so much, but it's been around here for a long time. It's a popular place for locals to hang out, blow off some steam, have some fun. I had the opportunity to visit for my first time this past year, so just based off of my one visit, I'm going to do my best to describe that overall experience that visitors get, talk about the signature attractions, the general atmosphere, everything that you need to know before going in. Now, one of the most interesting things I learned in doing preparation for this video that I had no idea about during my visit is that the entirety of Luna Park Sydney is a heritage listed site. That means it is protected by the Australian government, which essentially means they can't tear it down. There are multiple buildings here that have been determined to be historically significant, and I think you can definitely see that in walking around. The entirety of Luna Park feels like stepping back in time, which is ironic because actually a good portion of the attractions here are relatively new. In 2021, we saw one of the biggest changes to Luna Park yet with the addition of 9 new attractions, including their Big Dipper roller coaster. There's already a full separate review of this attraction up on the channel. If you want to hear about that ride, definitely go check that out. As of right now, when this video is being made, it's the only place in the world that you can experience an Intamin single rail. That will change next year though when we see a new one open up in France. Luna Park is currently home to 4 roller coasters. 3 of them were part of that 2021 expansion. The other one is a wooden Wild Mouse dating back to 1959. One of only 3 in the world, and unfortunately I did not get the chance to experience this. It was closed when I went and it still has not opened. The attraction did not look to be in the best shape, and because this is one of those historically significant rides, anytime you do any big renovation or change, it has to get approved. It makes updating rides like this a pain. However, Luna Park Sydney is going through with it anyways. It'll reopen in the summer of 2024 for its 60th birthday, so if you visit anytime after that, you will get to experience it. The other roller coasters here include a Gerstlauer family boomerang, as well as a small kiddie coaster. During its span of operation, Luna Park has also seen 7 different roller coasters close. 2 of those include other past roller coasters also called Big Dipper. Yes, the Big Dipper we know today is number 3. The first was a wooden coaster that operated from 1935 to 1979. The end of Big Dipper was also a huge turning point for Luna Park Sydney. I mentioned how the park survived a fire. On June 9th, 1979, their former ghost train is believed to have suffered an electrical fault, setting the attraction ablaze, killing 7 people and forcing the closure of Luna Park for 3 years. The fire destroyed the ghost train and caused damage to other nearby attractions, including Big Dipper, and most of their major rides at the time ended up getting completely demolished or sold off. It wasn't until 1982 that they reopened, but this time under a completely new name, Harborside Amusement Park. I know the rebranding didn't perform quite as they hoped, so obviously it did eventually get renamed back to Luna Park, but they had a brand new investment plan, built multiple new attractions. Eventually, one of those would be the new version of Big Dipper. This was a custom aero looper. Unfortunately, this one didn't last for super long, only about 6 years. This was due to severe noise complaints. You know how those aero loopers can be, noisy lift hills. But the ride did not get demolished. It was actually relocated over to Dreamworld, where it still operates to this day as Gold Coaster. I had the opportunity to ride it this past year, and it was actually pretty fun. But let's jump into what it's like to visit Luna Park Sydney. Starting with, how do you get there? This might be the most unique thing about Luna Park. We took a boat to the front entrance. Because you can literally see that iconic mouth front gate from across the water, we took a ferry from Circular Quay across the harbor, parked at the front entrance, and walked on in. It gave us great views of the Opera House, the bridge, not the roller coasters though, those are a little tucked away, but it was so cool and really convenient. I was shocked that maps said, yeah, that's the quickest way to get here, not by car, not by train. It's not too often you see something like that. And first impressions of the park, I mean, come on. It's one of those things you look at and you're like, wow, that is like actually disturbing. I heard someone describe it as charmingly creepy, which I feel like is fitting. This Art Deco styled entrance was actually based off of Australia's original Luna Park down in Melbourne. Also has that really creepy mouth entrance, but I think this one is worse. And it's actually not the original version of the entrance. Every time they redo the entrance, they give the guy a different looking face. He has a different expression every time. This right here is one of my favorite photos ever seen. Naturally, when they are redoing the entrance, they had to get this big piece there somehow, so there's just a giant mouth sailing through the Sydney Harbor. Imagine seeing that out of context. But one of the cool things about Luna Park is that you just walk right in. There's no traditional turnstiles. If you want to ride any of the rides, then you will want to get a wristband. But if you just want to walk around for free, then you can do that. I will say, a day pass for Luna Park is more expensive than you would probably think. There's not a set price. If you buy in advance, it fluctuates depending on the day. So like it would cost you $20 more if you went on a Saturday versus like a Thursday. But if you don't buy anything in advance and you just walk up on the day of your visit, you're paying about 75 bucks. Australian dollars, that is. In the US, that's about 47. Still, that's the price that you'd pay at a theme park you plan on typically spending all day at, which really is not the case for Luna Park. It is not a huge time commitment to check this place out. The actual layout is small, there's only a handful of attractions. We got through the park in not very much time at all. And that's even with checking out rides like the Ferris wheel, the drop tower, riding Big Dipper multiple times. And of course, we had to check out this indoor section, Coney Island. This is a large open area home to a ton of play structures. There's a mirror maze, an attraction called Barrels of Fun, some potato sack slides, the largest of which is called Devil's Drop. This was like actually scary. It is so steep. I couldn't believe that just anyone could walk up and do this thing. You would not see this in the US, that's for sure. The other potato sack slide here was also pretty fun. It had like a triple down. That too was kind of scary because you get a little bit of airtime going over. But this is one of the more famous parts of Luna Park. It was really here that I felt like I was stepping back in time. Every inch of this building felt like the 1930s. They kept with that Art Deco style. So many fun paintings along the walls. Everything's made out of wood. There's no air conditioning, so it was really hot and humid in there. Oh yeah, it was different. The actual midways of Luna Park Sydney are very colorful. Plenty of midway games to play. Also really strange and creepy, but it's all in good fun. I would say Luna Park Sydney has a much better vibe and atmosphere than Luna Park Melbourne. It probably also helps that they have a lot more room to work with. The park is essentially split in two with Coney Island in the center. You have to walk down these stairs and go around the building to reach the back half of the park. That's where you can actually see Big Dipper, or at least the second half of it. The entrance for the ride is up towards the front of the park, which is weird because you actually don't see the ride until you're in the queue. In terms of food at the park, there are two main eateries here. There's a quick service place up front that has really basic stuff like burgers and hot dogs. It is also pretty overpriced here. So if you want my recommendation, I would say eat in Sydney outside the park. There's a lot of places there that you'll want to check out anyway, so I'd say eat before and after your visit. But as I mentioned earlier, Luna Park Sydney is not a huge time commitment unless it's super busy and the park is just like at capacity with really long lines. You probably don't need more than a couple hours here, which is fine for what it is. However, it does make me really sad that this is like Sydney's only amusement park. I really feel like this iconic city could support so much more than Luna Park. But all the other big amusement parks in the country are on the Gold Coast. That's still quite a ways away from here, which is a shame. I feel like the Australians deserve better. I think Luna Park Sydney is fun for what it is, but it's not a location I'm going to be dying to get back to. But those are just my thoughts on Luna Park Sydney down in Australia. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree with the points that I brought up. If you think there's anything I missed, be sure to let me know. And of course, stay tuned for more park reviews here at Coaster Studios, and I'll see you next time.